باي حرف جر. Okay. بسم الله والحمد لله والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله صلى الله عليه وآله وسلم. Alright, we're back with Riyad and Asad. We're going to go through another review. So last time we covered detached pronouns. This time around we're going to cover attached pronouns, right? So to start off, when you have a pronoun that's detached, this is how it looks. You can see the pronoun in its regular form and it's separate from the noun. By the way, this means it is a book, right? Because huwa can refer to a masculine object. When it's a masculine object, it's it. Now when it's attached, it looks a little bit different. It actually kind of changes the way it looks, turning into a regular ha with a dhamma on the end of the word that it's attached to. So this is kitabuhu, and it actually means his book. So what you're looking at right here is actually a mudaf ilayh construction, right? So you have the owned and then the owner. So kitab is the owned, and then the owner is huwa, right? Because this is a huwa. So it actually means his book, right? So this baytuhu is equal to baytu huwa. And it's not going to become huwi, because as we know, mudaf ilayhi, the sign of its ownership is that it takes a kasra. Kitabullah, he. It's not going to be huwi because it's fixed. Huwa never changes, right? Its state has changed, but its appearance hasn't. It's just like that. But you won't see it like this. It will look like this. Baytuhu, his book. Make sense, guys?
Mm-hmm.
All right, so now we got to go on to how do all the pronouns look when they're attached. So we put together this chart. And skip that chart. This chart right here. We turned it into like a math equation. So we'll go through every single pronoun. So when you have kitabun and you attach a huwa to it, as we know, it becomes kitabuhu. For huma, it's kitabu huma, right? Huma is added to the end of the noun. So it means their book, two or more individuals, right? And then when it's hum, it becomes kitabuhum. When it's third person feminine, so hiya, it becomes kitabuha, right? Sorry about that, kitabuha. And when it's huma again, it becomes kitabuhuma. When it's hunna, it's kitabuhunna. When it's anta, it's kitabuka, kitabukuma, kitabukum, kitabuki, kitabukuma, kitabukunna, kitabi. So this is known as ya mutakallim, which is like the ya of ownership. So it means my book, right? That's the book that I own, right? So ana, when you want to show it something that you have, it becomes kitabi, right? You just add that ya on the end, turn the last letter into a kasra, and attach the ya. So if you want to say my house, it would be bayti, right? And then finally, when you want to say our, you add a noon with an alif, right? So kitabuna. That's how you'd say nahnu. So our book. Make sense, guys?
Mm-hmm.
All right. What does this mean? This one.
Kitabuki.
Yep.
That would mean kitab, your book, referring to a singular feminine.
Yes, exactly. How about this one?
Riyad, you want to take a shot? Go ahead. So kitabuha would be their or her book.
Yep, because of hiya, right?
Yes.
Okay, cool. All right.
I have a question.
Yeah, man, what's up?
Could you explain what happens to the tanween at the end of kitabun in those cases?
Sure. So as we know, with mudaf, one of the signs of mudaf is that it doesn't have alif lam, nor does it have tanween. This is a mudaf. So kitabu is a mudaf. So because of that, it will not have alif lam, nor will it have tanween.
Right.
Make sense?
Mm-hmm.
And guys, since this is a mudaf ilayhi, the ka, the kuma, the kum, the kunna, the kuma, they're all in a state of jar. If I missed that, my apologies.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, and what about this case over here? What happened to the tanween?
The kitabi?
Yeah.
Same thing. Since it's a mudaf, it just drops it.
You drop
But one of the rules is that when it connects to a ya, and Asad will explain the exception to this later, but when it connects to a ya, the last letter of the noun, so in this case the ba, takes a kasra. Kitabi, right? You're not going to see kitabai.
Right.
Right? But there is an exception to this with which Asad will explain soon. Okay, so Sheikh talked about this concept when the ha of the attached pronoun becomes a he, right? So above we've been seeing constantly again, kitabu, hum, right? See the ha there in the pronoun? The attached pronoun is hum. The ha has a dhamma, not a kasra. Well, there's certain cases where it will take a kasra. So this happens when the last letter of the noun has a kasra, right? The noun that it's attached to has a kasra. So in this case, you have buhu. Since it's buhu, it will still remain the same. If this was a fatha, it would still remain the same. But in this case, the last letter of the noun has a kasra. And because of that, then the ha of the attached pronoun will take a kasra. And this only applies to the has. You'll never see kitabikim. That doesn't happen. It's always going to be kitabukum, right? Only applies to the has of an attached pronoun. So kitabihima, kitabihim, kitabiha. So for this one here, there's an actual exception. Since it's a ha with an alif, it will just stay the same. It won't turn into a kasra, right? So then you have kitabihima and kitabihinna. Kitabihinna. Change from kitabuhunna to kitabihinna because the last letter of the noun that it's attached to has a kasra, right? So even if this was a fatha, it would go back to being kitabahunna, right? It only applies when there's a kasra at the last letter of the noun, right, Riyadh?
Yeah.
Not dozing off? Sorry guys, it's like 12 a.m. in the morning. I don't know why we have a habit of doing this, but we do. It just happens. Okay, the second last concept that Sheikh talks about when it comes to attached pronouns is that attached pronouns can also be attached to harfu jar. And if you guys remember, harfu jar is a specific harf that changes the noun coming after it into a state of jar, right? So you can actually attach a noun to that. And it's that list that we memorized, remember? Bata, kaf, lam, wa, mundu, mudh, khala, rubba, hasha, min, ada, fi, an, ala, hatta, ila. When you attach a pronoun to some of them, the ha of that attached pronoun takes a kasra. But it's not like that for all of them. So for example, lahu, it's going to stay the same. It's never going to be lahi. It's going to stay lahu, lahuma, lahum, right? For min, it will also stay the same. Minhu, minhuma, minhum. But for ilay, you'll never see ilayhu. It will be ilayhi, ilayhima, ilayhim, ilayha, ilayhima, ilayhinna. This only applies to some of the harfu jar. And for the reason that I remember back when I was learning this, it's just for the sake of pronunciation. Because fi, he is easier to say than fi, hu. But Allahu a'lam. That's what I can remember. It might be best to double check that with Sheikh. And finally, Asad's going to explain one last concept.
Alright, so just to add to the ya mutakalam conversation, if I could just go back up to the chart real quick. Right here. So, as you can see, as we discussed, the letter that precedes the ya mutakalam is going to have a kasra in most cases, right? But there's one exception to that rule when a alif precedes the ya. So going back to the example, we have asa ya. So in this case, alif precedes the ya mutakallim, so you pronounce an alif on the ya. I don't know what else to add to that rule. Maybe Alim can chime in.
That's all I remember.
Yeah. So I mean, it's a very simple rule. Generally, you have a kasra that precedes the ya mutakallim, but except if there's a alif that precedes it, then you pronounce it with a fatha sound. And that's all I got.
Yeah, that was the only exception. Alright, everyone good? Any questions, guys?
Good.
Okay, guys, harfu jar. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Have a good night.